to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we live in different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win.
Turn me up, 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 up.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Dave's Doghouse. Back this week, even though I know I missed last week. But here to give you some good content, of course. So I'm live right now on X, Facebook, and YouTube. So make sure you like, share, subscribe on each platform. Ready to get this thing started, ready to talk about who's in the doghouse, who are the dogs of the week, and who could be coming out of the doghouse. Man. It's been some crazy NBA playoffs, but it's been a crazy sports week, of course, in baseball and hockey, even in soccer. It's been crazy. You know, we had some great games that happened yesterday. We got some teams that are now out of the NBA playoff. Well, one team, of course. Then we got some teams that are down 3-1. We got some teams, somebody may be down 3-1 today or tied 2-2. We don't know what the results is going to be, but we will see. Shout out to my guy Teddy being the first to comment. You know, he's always here to support me. I appreciate you, Mr. BWT, T Merck. Man, like I said, I'm happy to get started. So I'm gonna pretty much go ahead and start now. So this is the previous, well, not the previous, but these are all of the people that are in the doghouse at this moment. Ryan Garcia, you know, Canelo Alvarez, John Calipari, you know, he's now Arkansas. We got Jonte Porter, who's now a part of the doghouse. We got Sean Payton, Jay Billick. We got some boxing guys down there at the bottom. It's been a crazy doghouse. But there's one particular person who did something that I wasn't expecting him to do in just about, I will say, 90% of the boxing world. And it's not Deontay Wilder, it's not Jared Miller, it's not Jamal Charlo, it's not Regis Prograis, it's not even the WBC. And it's not Francis Ngannou either. I believe he's going back to the UFC, but who knows? I'm talking about Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia. You want to know what Ryan Garcia did, y'all? He won a fight that almost everyone predicted he would lose. Just about everyone predicted he would lose. I know I did. I know I thought that he wasn't going to win that fight simply because of his antics. It didn't seem like he was focused. It didn't seem like he knew what he was doing. But the man said he had this plan a month ahead of time. He knew exactly what he was going to do. He said he was going to fool the world, make himself look crazy, make it look like he didn't know what he was doing. And if you saw that fight, he was focused. He knew exactly what he was doing. In the first round, he knocked down Devin Haney. Then it looked like he was going to lose the fight because he was rounds 2 through 6. He lost. But Devin Haney was not doing enough to win the fight. He was winning simply based on numbers and because he was the aggressor. But he wasn't hurting Ryan Garcia in any way. And I think we all know this now, is that Devin Haney has no power, at least when it comes to the boxing world. You know, he ain't knocking nobody out. And it for sure didn't happen to Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia even came 3 pounds, 3.2 to be exact, pounds over the weight limit at the weigh-in. And had to pay Devin Haney $1.5 million because there was a bet that if he goes over, he has to pay $500K each pound over. So he paid $1.5 million. And then when you exactly Tyrone said, when I saw how big he was compared to Haney in the ring, I was worried. Man, Haney looks small. And then what did Haney have on? What was he thinking when he put that on? Ryan Garcia didn't care about any of that. He knocked him down 3 more times after he knocked him down in the first round. He dominated the fight after round 6. 7 through 12 was clearly his. He clearly won that fight. And the only reason why it wasn't, the score was the way it was is because he had a point taken away from him. And exactly. So Teddy and Ty both pretty much said he bet on himself. He won $12 million betting on himself. He bet $2 million on himself and won 12. Ryan Garcia was the faster and stronger fighter. And Devin Haney's defense needs to be questioned. I'm sorry. It needs to be questioned because you said that he only had a left hook, but you continue to let him land that left hook. How can you say you know the plan, but you don't follow through with the plan? Anyway, this is more about Ryan Garcia than it is Devin Haney. Ryan Garcia didn't even have a chance to win the belt because he came in overweight. But he did not care. He still dominated that fight from the first round and then from 7 to 12. He won that fight fair and square and clear. So Ryan Garcia, I think I say this for everyone. You fooled us. You clearly fooled us, and we see how good of a boxer that you really are. It was bad. He beat Devin Haney. He made Devin Haney look normal. And we know Devin Haney looked great against Regis Prograis, but Regis Prograis is not Ryan Garcia. He's not Tank. He's not Shakur Stevenson. He's not these other guys coming out. He's not Kermit Moe and Kid Austin. He's not these other guys that we talk about. He's not Canelo. He's not David Benavidez. He's not Usyk. He's not Tyson Fury. He's not these guys. But the man, Ryan Garcia, trolled with the antics and everything. Everyone thought he was crazy, and he just did whatever he did to win that fight, and he dominated. So Ryan Garcia, you are now out of the doghouse. And even though this isn't necessarily the dogs, I'm going to give you the dog call. Okay, now, with that being done, now we have to talk about the dogs. Who's in the doghouse this time. Who might you think will be new members of the doghouse this week? Well, let's just give you an idea of who this team is. I'm going to name some players that play for this team, and maybe you can kind of sort of see who I'm talking about. Charles Barkley played for this team. Sean Marion, Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire, Rajah Bell. You know, these are some of the guys. DeAndre Ayton, who's no longer with them. Team been around for years. We know this team has won 60-plus games before. You know, Chris Paul was on the team recently. He's no longer there. He's with the Golden State Warriors now. You know, he's out of the playoffs. Come on, y'all know who it is. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Exactly. The Phoenix Suns. I like how you said it, Teddy. The Moons. The Moon, because they ain't bright no more. The Wolves clipped them. The eclipse that happened, that was the Wolves over the Suns. They got swept in the first round by a team who hasn't won a playoff series since 2004. That was 20 years ago. 20 years ago since the last time the Minnesota Timberwolves won a playoff series. I'm telling y'all, this is a nasty Minnesota Timberwolves team. But this Phoenix Suns team has some questions that they're going to need to answer. For one, KD is now going around, is pretty much saying that he feels like he wasn't a cog in the offense. Like he was just standing around in the corner. I didn't see that in the game. Y'all tell me if y'all saw that, but I didn't see that when I saw the game. They got some contracts they got to deal with because of this season. So Devin Booker is owed $221 million over the next 4 years. Bradley Beal is owed $103 million over the next 2 years. Kevin Durant also $103 million over the next 2 years. Grayson Allen just got a contract before the series started. 4 years, $70 million. Congrats to you, Grayson Allen. You did have a great year. Yusuf Nurkic, who is now 3-17 in playoffs, which is the worst percentage in NBA history for anybody who's played at least 20 games. 2 years, $37.5 million. Then Nasir Little has 3 years, $21.75 million. So about 21.75. Who are they going to sign? What money do they have? Not only that, worst in history. Free agents is Royce O'Neal, Udoka, Thaddeus Young, Isaiah Thomas, who just signed for the rest of the season, but season's over now, so sorry, Isaiah, you're a free agent again. But they got player options on, Eric Gordon, Josh Okogie, Damian Lee, and Drew Eubanks. So I'm guessing they're going to bring those 4 guys back. So I'm guessing, yeah, Joe. Yeah, my background's crazy. So now, what are they going to do? They got no draft picks for a few years. Not just first round, but second round. They had no draft picks for the next few years. You know, they gave up their future for KD and Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal. Where do I get started? Where's Tomo when you need him? Bradley Beal. He made a statement after they were down 3-0, said that we are not getting swept. I've never been swept in my life. Well, Brad, you know, there's a first time for everything. And for you to be one of the most highest paid players in the league still, you know, didn't you tell kids that, you know, you were talking to some young kids that they weren't going to be able to take your spot? Seems like it was some young kids that took your spot in Washington. So you got moved. There's some young kids coming up right now that, you know, took you out. Isn't Anthony Davis younger than you? I mean, Anthony Edwards younger than you? Isn't Jaden McDaniels younger than you? Oh, okay. Carl Anthony Towns also younger than you? Oh, okay. Rudy Gobert? Oh. I mean, Mike Conley's the only one I think has been here longer than you have. But you know, that's Mike Conley. We know he's a vet. Shout out to Mike Conley. But you guys haven't won a playoff game all year. And this is the second time in the last 3 seasons that Kevin Durant was eliminated in the first round in a sweep. So, KD, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker. Devin Booker showed up in the elimination game. He put up 49 points. But it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. Wasn't enough. They lost. Bradley Beal put up a whopping 9 points in that game. 9 points. And let me read this contract again, because maybe I'm tripping. So you're getting $50 million over the next 2 years, each, at minimum. Well, Phoenix Suns, you are the newest members to the doghouse. KD, you have finally rejoined the Warriors, but you're all in Cancun now. So congratulations, you're back. You're back in Golden State. But you know, with some warm weather, you know, put your feet in the sand. You can enjoy yourself, have fun. But like I said, you are now in the doghouse. So Phoenix Suns, welcome to the doghouse. My guy, you in the doghouse. All right, we got our first inductee out the way. Now let's talk about the next one. It's time that I now talk about the loser in the fight between Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. So the trash talk promotion was mostly like Ryan Garcia talking trash. You know, Devin Haney had some trash talk going well, but I guess we can all say that the trash talk was kind of corny from both. It's kind of corny. However, there's this one guy in the camp that does a lot of talking, not only when they're in the mic, but on social media. I've given him a new name now. He is the father of Devin Haney. I now call you pocket watching Bill Haney. That's you. For one, you are a grown man. Why does a grown man like yourself, who you consider a real man, or, you know, we all saw the video. If you didn't see the video, you know, please go see it. When he was having him and Floyd Mayweather on Instagram Live, when he was pretty much talking trash, saying that he was a real in the streets. Bill, how old are you? I just need you to answer that question for me. How old are you? You are supposed to represent professionalism, greatness, and being real in the streets is not what it's all about. It's one thing to have respect in the streets. That's fine. You can have respect. But is that really something to boast about? You're a grown man. You're supposed to be you should be boasting about not no longer being in the street. Isn't that the goal of everyone to get out of the streets? You want to just go back? If so, you can just leave boxing alone and go back. You could whatever you were doing before boxing, you can go back and do that. But that's not what you came here for. You came here to have a better life, provide it for your son. You're a trainer and everything now. Your son was undisputed, still undisputed, because the WBC still backed him up and said that he's not going to lose his title, even though I thought that more than likely, even if you don't lose the title to the person that, was overweight, that you still lose your belt because you lost the fight. But hey, he still got the belt. I do know this, though. I do not think that Bill Haney or Devin Haney needs to even think about trying to fight Tank. Gervonta, Tank Davis. I think you need to just don't call him out. Just don't do it. You're setting yourself up for failure. I think that you just need to focus on his next fight, whoever that may be, but don't let it be Tank. If Devin Haney can't take a hit from Ryan Garcia, what makes you think he's gonna be able to take it against Tank? You tell me. That's what I need to know. And he ain't gonna be able to hurt Tank because he couldn't hurt Ryan Garcia. So those are two things you got to worry about. Is he gonna be able to take a hit, and can he deliver one? Both, from what we saw against Ryan Garcia, the answer is no to both. So, Bill Haney, I think what you need to do is worry about what you're doing with your son. He's had a great career so far. He's had a great career so far. And he can continue to have one. It's one loss. It's one loss. But to go at Floyd and try to say that 50-0 don't matter, well, 51-0 doesn't matter. But you were saying that Devin was going to be better and eclipsed that. So it don't matter now because Devin lost. But had he won, I'm pretty sure it would still matter, right? Okay. Well, Bill Haney, that's pretty much all I really need to say about what you did to call yourself, some people say clown activities, but hey, all I'm going to tell you is don't watch another man's pockets. Don't talk about what another man's doing for his kids. You don't know that man's situation, just like he don't know your situation. He ain't talking about how you do your son. You got your son in boxing. Cool. He don't talk about you as a father. He talk about you as a trainer and and that's it. A trainer and a promoter. That's it. He don't talk about your lifestyle outside of boxing. So I think a real man wouldn't do what you did. So let the trolls continue from Ryan Garcia. And shout out to Ryan Garcia, man. That man's hitting every side quest you have seen. This man was at a concert with YG, having it up, talking to Colorado and Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes. Man, he having it up. He having the time of his life. All thanks to you and Devin Haney. So Bill Haney, Bill Pocket Watching Haney, you, my guy, are the newest member to the doghouse. My guy, you in the doghouse. Mm. Okay. Now this one shouldn't take anyone by surprise because this recently just happened. And I don't think I'm even going to take long to introduce who this is. Only one person knows who I am talking about, well, who I'm about to bring up because, he helps me with the videos. But as a GM, it is your duty to make sure you do all the right things for your team. Whether it's a sign, a draft, whether it comes to a coach, somebody's contract, you have to make sure that you dot your I's and cross your T's. Make sure you do your homework. Make sure you know what decision you're making, and make sure you talk to others before you make that decision, because anything could cost you your job, just like anything can help you keep your job. Anything can make you cost it. There is one guy in the NFL who made one of the most retarded moves, one of the most questionable moves I've ever seen. I don't want to say retarded. One of the most questionable moves I've ever seen in my life. I don't understand what this guy was thinking. If you don't know who this guy is, then you didn't watch the draft on Thursday. And you didn't hear me announce it on CTC. I do apologize for what I said. But it was a terrible move. Terry, the GM for the Atlanta Falcons, at the number 8 pick, what was going through your head when you decided that at the number 8 spot that you were going to draft quarterback Michael Penix out of the University of Washington? This was after you just signed Kirk Cousins to what is pretty much a $100 million guaranteed contract this offseason. So I get it. Kirk Cousins is coming off an Achilles injury. It's very serious. So you're going to pay him $100 million guaranteed over the next 4 years, and have your first overall pick at number 8, not number 22, not 28, not 31. You're going to have him sit on the bench for 4 years. So if he was going to sit on the bench for 4 years, why didn't you just wait until the second round to draft him? Maybe because the Raiders or the Broncos were also going to try to draft him, or the Vikings, maybe. Well, no, the Vikings had already took JJ McCarthy. But you were going to, I don't know. It just didn't make sense. I'm still scratching my head about that pick because, yes, we know the Falcons needed a quarterback because they haven't had one since pretty much Matt Ryan left, and who has now retired. So shout out to Matt Ryan. Had a pretty good, great career. He believes he's a Hall of Famer. That's a conversation for another day. Not here to talk about that on this show. Just here to talk about what you did, Terry. So the last time I remember a quarterback sitting on the bench for a few seasons was what, Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre. But last time I checked, Aaron Rodgers was passed over. He was like pick 22, somewhere around that. He wasn't a top 10 pick. Brett Favre was still there. And the only reason why Brett Favre was still there is because he kept retiring and coming back and retiring and coming back. And plus, he was loved in Green Bay. That was also something that a lot of people questioned at that time. Brett Favre was not the guy to train his heir apparent. That's just not what he was there to do. But you could have drafted a receiver. Could have drafted someone. Could have been a corner. Could have been a D tackle. Could have been an offensive lineman. Could have been anybody. And if you don't trust Kirk Cousins' injury, then why did you give him the contract? That's what I'm trying to figure out. If he didn't, then I don't know. I'm utterly confused at what it is that you did. So at this moment, and probably for the foreseeable future, Terry, you, my guy, are the newest member of the Doghouse.
My guy, you in the doghouse.
All right. Now I'm just going to go for a quick commercial break, and I'll be back in a minute.
Yo, my name is Lambo Anlo.
This is Dimitri.
This is Ed Hahn.
My name is Daryl Julian, and this is
Refuse to lose sports.
Refuse to lose sports.
Refuse to Lose Sports.
Refuse to lose sports.
Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Look till we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win, apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse.
All right, we're back. We are back. Now, it's time to talk about the dolls of the week. The guys, girls, people that are shining for their respective teams or in their respective fields. So I'm actually going to hit the baseball first. And this team made a lot of moves in this offseason. And, it seemed like there was going to be a lot of good things to come from what this team was trying to accomplish for this year. Made the biggest signing in the offseason, along with a few others to follow that. They are the number one team in their division right now. The Dodgers. LA Dodgers, who have won 6 of their last 7 games. This team is tops in the NL West. They are 18-12 on the season so far. And they are now opening a 3-game series today against the Arizona Diamondbacks. They just swept the Nationals and just won another series against the Blue Jays. This team has been doing some really good things in baseball at this moment, and I wanted to make sure I talked about it. I understand it's still early in the season, but they have been winning some games. For one, Will Smith is the second Dodgers catcher with consecutive 4-hit games since 1901, joining 1950 Roy Campanella. The only MLB catcher in that span with 3 straight 4-hit games is Johnny Klink. It's not the only thing that happened. Right now, Shohei Ohtani is about to he now has the record for, or about to break the record for the most home runs by Japanese-born players in Dodgers history. So that's another thing going for the Dodgers right now. This is going to be a really, really good series, I believe, and I'm definitely going to make sure I tune in. Tay, stay here. Don't go anywhere. I got something for you, Tay. Don't go anywhere. This Dodgers team has made some improvements. Mookie Betts has 2 5-for-5 games this year so far. We all know Mookie Betts is one of my favorite players. My favorite player in baseball. The Dodgers have been doing everything they need to do to make the strides to be the team that they signed all these players to be. They want to be the team that wins it all this year. And we all know that it's not easy for it to happen just because you signed all these great players. It's happened in basketball. It's happened in football. It's not easy. It's happened in college basketball, college football. It's not always the team with all the talent wins. It's not always what's going to happen. But this team is winning right now. Like I said, number one in the NL West right now, winning 6 of their last 7 games, winning 2 of their last 3 series. You know, they lost. They had originally lost the series against the Mets. You know, they lost another one to the Nationals before, but they came back and won. So it's been an interesting series. Can't wait to see what's going to happen with the rest of this series. But I think it's going to be very interesting to see. This team has been playing awesome right now. Like I said, Shohei Ohtani has been playing well. They've had some great pitching to go along with this team. But it's great. It's great to see. It's been a really good baseball season so far. Very exciting. Teddy could tell you himself. You know, if you continue to watch BWC, you'll see what I'm talking about. But shout out to the Dodgers, man. They've been doing a lot of great things. And they just keep winning. They keep winning. So let's see what happens in this series, because this is an NL West battle against the Arizona Diamondbacks, who represented in the World Series last year. So this is going to be I'm tuned in. Tell you that now. I'm tuned into this game. So welcome to being the first inductees of the Dogs for this week, the LA Dodgers. Okay, next up. Seems to be like an ongoing thing to where I have someone in the doghouse and then someone in the dogs that kind of is the total opposite of them. I'm going to go back to talking about one of my favorite players in the league right now. In this playoffs, I'm talking about Anthony Edwards. I keep saying Anthony Davis. Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves. As I said before, when I talked about, the Phoenix Suns losing to someone that hasn't won a playoff series in 20 years, I got to talk about this team winning a playoff series for the first time in 20 years. This team has been playing awesome. They swept the Phoenix Suns. This is a Phoenix Suns team with Kevin Durant, who is a two-time NBA champion, Devin Booker, who's been to the finals before, and Bradley Beal, who's also always been known as an offensive threat. It's a big three. But Anthony Edwards said, hey, they got KD, we got Jaden Daniels. And Jaden Daniels, Anthony Edwards both played big in this series. Anthony Edwards last night was cold in the first half pretty much. And he went on to score 40 points in a closeout game, in an elimination game. A game that was back and forth all the way up until the end. They were going at it. That was a really, really good game last night. But it ended up in a sweep. First playoff series win since 2004. 20 years ago was the last time they won a playoff series. Top 3 team in the West. The gauntlet of the West. What's crazy is 2 of the 3 teams that are in the top 3 were not considered to be a top 3 team when the season started. No one thought that the Minnesota Timberwolves or the Oklahoma City Thunder would be a top 3 team. No one thought that. It is something to see when you got young players like Anthony Davis and Anthony Edwards. He said that he was out to kill, not literally, but figuratively in basketball terms. Like he wanted to end them, and they did. In 4 games, they left them thinking, they left with no doubt that they are the better team between the two. And me, being the one that was on the show, I'm the only one that picked them to win this series. No one thought that KD was going to get swept again in the first round. Well, it happened. Best player in the league. This got to be. This can't really be Anthony Edwards. This got to be. This got to be a AI page or something. T Wolves 2024 champs. That's a lot to talk about right now. All I'm saying is you're my favorite player, my favorite young player in the league right now, Anthony Edwards. That's who you are. If this is really you. I don't think so. I think this is AI, but hey. Anthony Edwards, you are my favorite young player in the league. And I like the way that you're going about it right now. The only thing I have to say is what we said on the show today at 9 a.m. Last year, when you lost that playoff series against the Nuggets, you ran off the court. You didn't shake hands or anything, didn't congratulate anyone. And I get it. It's tough. Losing is tough. It's tough. It's not something I've ever experienced at your level, but it's something to be talked about. I believe that this team can definitely make it to the finals this year if you continue to play the way you've been playing. But I also want to know that you have grown and that you're willing to accept defeat if that happens. Because in the next round, you're more than likely, from what it looks like you're going to be playing the Denver Nuggets, who is the reigning NBA champions. It is going to be an exciting series to see if that happens, whether you play them or the Lakers. It's going to be exciting to see. I can't wait to see it. But Minnesota Timberwolves, you deserve this from having a great season this year after you guys were questioned last year because of the trade that you made for Rudy Gobert. And I was one of the people that questioned it, that you got here to this point. So it's just the first round, but it's something to celebrate because it's been 20 years since the last time this organization has won a playoff series. So congratulations, Minnesota Timberwolves, and Anthony Edwards. Keep doing your thing. Welcome to the Dogs, Minnesota Timberwolves. Now we shift back to baseball, to a player who was on a team that just lost to my Boston Red Sox in a series, by the way. Had to make sure I brought that up. There were some things that this player was able to do that made them better. And you have just started your first career. You're a rookie this year. You know, you got a contract from this team. You know, one of the foreign-born players to have signed this offseason. One of many. Signed with the Chicago Cubs this year. Shota Imanaga, undefeated in his first 5 career games. 4-0. I know you heard me just say 5 games and undefeated. Yes, one of those games, you know, he didn't get a decision in that game. But he's the first starter since Dave Ferris in 1945 to go 4-0 or better with an ERA below 1 in his first 5 career games. He is a pitching monster. This guy has pitched 27 innings so far. Take a guess on how many hits he's allowed. I'm going to wait. I'm going to sip some orange juice and you tell me. Nobody? No guesses? Nothing? 19. 19 hits he's allowed so far in 5 games. Just 19. Against the Red Sox on April 26th, he only allowed 5. Against the Miami Marlins, he only allowed 5. Against the Seattle Mariners, he only allowed 5. Against the LA Dodgers, he only allowed 2. And in his first career game, April 1st against the Colorado Rockies, he only allowed 2 hits. And guess what? He's only allowed a run in 3 of these games. He allowed 1 run against the Red Sox, 3 against the Miami Marlins, and 1 against the Seattle Mariners. He didn't allow a run at all against the Dodgers or the Colorado Rockies. And yes, I said that his ERA is below 1. It is 0.98. Maybe it's too soon. Maybe it's me talking too soon. But this guy looks like he wants to win a Cy Young Award. He wants to win a Cy Young Award in his first season ever in Major League Baseball. I think he's making a case to be the NL Rookie of the Year. The season just started, Dave. I get it. But you do this. This is really good. This is really good. Okay, so I'm not the only one. You see it here first from Teddy. Teddy said Rookie of the Year and Cy Young candidate. So all I'm saying is this guy, this young pitcher is balling for the Chicago Cubs right now. I'm excited to see what he's going to do next. I wish he was with my Boston Red Sox, but hey, we didn't need him to beat his team, so I guess I'm okay with that. And we actually have the top ERA in the league right now, but this ain't about us. This is about him. He is playing lights out. Playing lights out straight, period. So, Shota Imanaga, welcome to the Dogs. Okay, so well, look, Donnell also agrees with me as well. So, hey, I'm just saying, I kind of sort of know what I'm talking about. Just kind of. I'm not an expert, but I'm just saying I know what I see. I know what my eyes are telling me. Now, I'm going to remove this before I do the very last one. This other player on this team in this league has helped his team get a 3-1 commanding lead in their respective series. He was traded mid-season from a team that is not even in the playoff picture. They lost their head coach. You know, three of their champion players were gone. No, two. Sorry. Two of their NBA champion players were gone. No, three. Danny Green was a part of that team too. Gone. And he was just there. Damn, how did I get about Fred VanVleet? Ty, I hope you're still watching. Because this is about somebody on your team. Somebody mentioned him on the show today. I believe that was Tomo. Pascal Siakam. He's an NBA champion. He's an NBA champion. Pascal Siakam, along with Tyrese Halliburton and Miles Turner, are helping this team be up 3-1 against the Milwaukee Bucks. Yes, the Milwaukee Bucks are down their two best players. However, Pascal Siakam is doing exactly what he needs to do to help his team win games. Well, Ty, I'm going to make sure you get all of this. You get your rest, sir, because I understand that I understand that you want to hear this. He is scoring like crazy and making key plays in this series against the Milwaukee Bucks. Pascal Siakam who was traded early in the season. Well, I think it was before the trade or definitely before the trade deadline. From the Toronto Raptors to the Indiana Pacers. This Indiana Pacers team has been shooting lights out all year long. Number one offense in the league. But what a lot of people aren't talking about is how their defense has improved over the second half of the season. And that's been led by Pascal Siakam and Miles Turner, along with Obi Toppin, who came over as well to help out. And, a bunch of other guys. They traded away Buddy Hield, who's now with the Philadelphia 76ers, who is also down 3-1. But Pascal is showing you that, hey, I'm still a champ. I still know what I'm doing. I still think my team has a chance to advance and make some things happen. Now, you want to talk about what he's done. Now, I understand the last game, he only put up 13 points. But we don't just go off of the last game. In the other game against them, he put up 17 and 9. Then, in the win, when they won 125-108 to tie the series, Pascal Siakam put up 37 points and 11 rebounds in that game, with also 6 assists. He shot 16 of 23 from the field. He was their leading scorer. He was the best player on the floor that night. He's making an impact. Rebounding, defending, and scoring. And scoring from 3. He was 3 or 4 from the field that night. I think it's a foregone conclusion that the Indiana Pacers are going to win this series. Now, we have seen 3-1 comebacks before, but it's rare. So, it was absolutely a great trade for y'all. Absolutely a great trade. Pascal, Nesmith, Nembhard, and Turner have all turned up defensively. They have all done what they need to do. And Tyrese Halliburton is showing you that he's fit for the playoffs. He's fit. He's prepared. He's ready. He's ready. So, Pascal Siakam, you have been playing great. And I'm not just talking about your scoring. I'm just talking about your effort and everything else. And I'm going to say this again. If you're the Bucks and you're listening, you do not play Dame. You don't do that. That's just going to cause something crazy to happen. He might tear his Achilles, and I don't think you want to do that. If he's not 100% healthy, don't play him. That's all I'm going to say. Look at what happened to KD. I think that's more than enough. So, Pascal Siakam, you are the dog of the week. Welcome to the Dogs. All right. Now we go from that to our dishonorable mention of the week. Teddy, I hope you're listening. Hope you're still here. I definitely have something that I need to talk to you about, Teddy. There's someone in the Boston media. Pretty sure you know who I'm talking about. Who said something ridiculous? You call him the White Mamba. That's what he's called, And it's in a jokingly fashion, of course. But Brian Scalabrine, I think he needs to watch what he says and watch the game and see and watch the play and look at it from every angle. He claimed that Eric Spoelstra told Caleb and them to hurt Tatum. When you watch the play, first of all, it wasn't intentional. It was an accident, clear accident. As soon as it happened, he turned around immediately to try to help out Tatum. Now, I understand the little scuffle, the little push that happened between him and Brown. That's Brown also not looking at exactly what happened, not noticing that it was an accident. But if you also watch the play, Drew Holiday pushed Caleb Martin, which carried his momentum into hurting Jason Tatum on that play. First of all, Eric Spoelstra has never been the type of coach to have his team go out there and hurt somebody. He respects the game entirely too much to do something like that. And you, Brian Scalabrine, need the mic taken away from you to make a dumb assumption like that. A ridiculous assumption. Miami is not known for trying to take out players. You name me one instance where they said that other than what he said, that Eric Spoelstra has been trying to get other players injured. You do know that there was a poll that came out from the players that said who was the coach they most wanted to play for and least wanted to play for. Most players that wanted to play for any coach said Eric Spoelstra. So is he a dirty coach or is he one of the best coaches in the league? Or should I say most respected? You can't be dirty and respectful. That's just, to me, it just don't make sense. So, Brian Scalabrine, you're an dishonorary member of the doghouse. And that's all I got to say for you. And my honorable mention is one of my favorite young players in Major League Baseball right now, Elly De La Cruz. Elly De La Cruz right now is tied for 6th in the majors in home runs right now. He is also 19th in RBIs, and he has an on-base percentage that's over 90. That is one of the best things I've seen, which puts him at 9th in the league. He's top 10 in the majors in on-base percentage. Now, his average isn't necessarily there. It's only 54th. But like I say, 6th. He had 6 in home runs. You know, his 18 RBIs. He's balling, man. Elly De La Cruz is balling. And he's the first player this year with a 450-foot home run and an inside the park home run in the same game this year. Well, first ever, period. And 12 stolen bases, which is first in the league. We all know he's fast. So that's what he does. He balls out. So, Elly De La Cruz, you're an honorary member of the Dogs. So, what's up, my guy? All right, that is my show for today. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for the comments. I appreciate you guys being here. Until next time, which will be later this week. So you're going to get 2 shows this week. I am out of here. So peace. Thank you for watching all the way through and tuning all the way into the end. Thank you for enjoying Dave's Doghouse. I hope you had a great show. Make sure you like this video and hit the notification button so you get an alert whenever I go live again or have another video and another episode. And also, last but not least, hit that share button. If you enjoyed this and you think someone else will enjoy it, share it. And also, thank you again for, tuning into this episode. And I'll see you next time.
My guy, you in the doghouse.